Starting off as volunteer there, we had a thing called the hot potato. It was a mobile phone that we all had to take turns in taking home with us, and that's because of unauthorised encampments. We call them unauthorised now. So people by the roadside and that, and we had to be alert to try and help these people to get some legal rights, and that's TAT. Obviously we was attached to Travel Advice Services then. And that was the beginning of FFT. And I've got to say, at that time, Susan Alexander was the head of the unit, and if you got stuck at all and you rung her, she just was on the phone and she knew exactly what to advise these people to do. FFT obviously started getting funding and our youth project started up. So a lot of that was about supporting them in schools and about the fact that they were being picked on for who they were, or not saying who they were because they were worried that they were going to be bullied or racism would come into it. And an awful lot of it was not just the children, it was their parents. The parents were waiting outside, having other parents making comments about them, who they are. So an awful lot of our work was around schools and still is around schools. What inspired me? I needed a change of direction in my life, and I thought back to my childhood, that the interest I had in my childhood was nomadic people, and I think that was because of my background. So I've always looked at the rights of nomadic people, and as soon as my life changed and I had to think of a different career, I moved towards working with FFT. My background being Roma Gypsy, and obviously listening to and hearing about the stories of my family, my dad and his sister, his brothers and that, and my cousins and that, how they've struggled. I suppose we're quite fortunate that I don't think I have anybody that's on a local authority. They're all more or less on their own land. But the struggle that they've had to get there, and the health issues and not knowing about services, especially schooling, that's also is what pushed me towards what I'm now doing. A story of my dad was that he was looking for a school fence one day, and the head teacher saw him and she followed him back to the camp, and he was worried that he'd caused this person to follow him back, but she actually went and spoke to his mum and they agreed that he could attend while they were there. So we had a small time of going into school from there. My dad loved education, he was always reading, and I only found out after his death that he actually attended Heathfield School, and a school which I have supported people to get into now. So yeah, so still finding out things about my past.